You know, turning the clock back, daylight savings time, can be a bit of a pain in the neck. In fact, losing an hour in the spring can leave you groggy for the weeks while following, although getting an extra hour of sleep is also nice. This morning, sleep expert Dr. Archana Rao joins us, joins the conversation to offer tips on how we can keep the Z's as best as we can as we spring forward on Saturday night. Thanks so much for being here this morning. No I guess the first question, we're losing an hour of sleep. What's the best way to maintain a sleep schedule for us early risers on Monday morning?
What I would say is, you know that the time is going to change this weekend.
Yeah.
So I would probably start working the weekend before so that you actually try to compensate for the hour lost this coming weekend. So I wouldn't really like abruptly change the timing because your sleep is very hard to actually change like that overnight. So I would start slowly, you know, advancing my sleep time so that I try to catch up maybe half an hour at a day. And by the time we are actually losing our hour of sleep, you're ready to go on Monday without much of a sleep loss.
So let's do an example. I go to bed at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, early evening, and I get up around 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Got it, okay.
So what should I do beginning tomorrow, Friday?
I would say, if I were you, I'd probably start working last weekend, but that's okay.
Well, I can't go back in time now.
Yes, that's right. But since we're here, what I would do is, since you're going to bed around 5 p.m. every day, I would start going to bed maybe around 4:30 p.m. every day. That way, you're actually trying to catch up on that extra half an hour of sleep, because changing your timing overnight is not going to work. You got to work on it gradually. So I would probably start like 20 minutes or 30 minutes earlier than normal, so that by the time the daylight savings time comes in, you're ready to actually wake up and not feel too groggy or feel like you're losing an hour of sleep.
And so that way, by the time we get to like maybe this time next week, my body starts that adjustment process.
Yes.
Had I talked with Dr. Rao last week, this would have been a lot better.
That's
what
right.
about the kids now? How do you get your kids on a sleep schedule, especially because they're going to want to stay out later?
That's
got
right.
The extra hour of daylight, but they need to get to bed a little sooner.
Yes.
What would you do with the children?
It usually works for the fall thing because we fall backwards in fall, so it's like you get an extra hour, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But with the spring thing, what I usually do is I put them to bed like 30 minutes earlier than normal, and even though they're not ready, but then I mentally prepare them, and we don't do like too many activities close to bedtime.
Yeah.
That way they actually feel like they're winding down to get ready to go to bed earlier. So I didn't really have any problem with them until now.
Now your two little ones are with us now because they got to go to school. Have they been that process? I was going to ask.
Yes. They are doing that right now. We are working on it, and last night, and I put them like really busy through the day. So all the sports activities are done early in the afternoon rather than later in the evening, because the more closer to bedtime you're actually active, the harder it is for them to fall asleep. So I usually try to like wind them down maybe an hour before going to bed. And this time, since this week is the time we're preparing to wake up earlier than normal, what I would do is usually put them to bed a half an hour earlier than normal.
That makes sense. Of course, a lot of great tips we'll have online as well as on our Facebook page. Dr. Archana Rao, thank you so much for being here with us this morning. And I guess I'm going to go to bed a half hour early, maybe? I don't know.
Yes,
we'll see.
maybe. I think everybody should do that. It's good for you.
Stay with us. We'll be back right after this quick break.